And welcome to the casino module. I'm Nick and I'll be walking you through all the different functionalities that we can access. Now, by clicking on the tab, we can see two regions. We have an additional information region, which allows us to access various bits of information. And we have this main casino region, and this allows us to actually edit information and even create new entries in tables. So let's take a look at what we can do. Let's start off in the gaming activities. We can see the columns we have over here. We have game ID, we have status, earnings, group number, and employee ID. Now, as the user I'm running on now, I can edit this information. So over here, let's go over to number 2, game ID number 2, and the employee who normally looks after this has been away, so we're going to change this to being inactive. We can apply changes, and we can see that the action has been processed. And as we can see over here, game ID with number 2 has now been made inactive. We can also do other bits of functions over here. This entry in particular, we can just get rid of it like that. So the game with game ID number 15 is no longer here. We can also do one more thing, and that's create, as I clicked over there. So let's recreate number 15. We're going to make it inactive. We're going to give it 0 earnings because it has yet to make any money yet. We're going to make it a part of group number 6, and we're going to give it to this employee over here. We're going to create that. And the action has been processed, and we can see that number 15 is back here. Now, if we're not sure on what these game IDs refer to, I've added this extra button over here which allows us to access more information on the subject matter. As we can see, game ID number 2, the one that I made inactive, was actually the blackjack table. So you can simply click over here if you want to edit information and be sure that you're editing the right columns and rows. Let's take a look at another functionality. Complementary services check. We can see we have the complementary ID, which is the ID of a specific complementary service. We have an employee ID, which is the employees, more specifically the managers that have to approve these services, the approval themselves, date of request, and the card ID, which refers to the cards that users own to purchase these services. Now, if we want to know whether these services should be approved, we can look at services information, look at the description, and look at the point cost. In even more detail, we can look at casino card information, where the system calculates after purchase how many remaining points they'll have left. As we can see over here, card number 5 has negative points because they cannot afford the certain services that they have requested, and as a result, they have been granted no service. And we can edit that over in this section over here. Now, there's one very important bit of information that I haven't mentioned yet, and that's who's able to grant this information. The system works in a hierarchy sort of nature, in that the executive account, which I'm currently using, can access all the casino information. And anything lower can access less information. So the manager can access slightly less information and edit less information, and the dealer below that can edit even less information. And below that is other users that are outside of the casino module. So we can try this out. I'm going to log out of the executive account, and I'm going to go in as a dealer, and we shall see what we can access. So if we go over to the casino tab, we can take a look at gaming activity. We can still edit stuff, that's okay, we can still access the forms, but if we go to complementary services check, we have been denied access because we shouldn't be able to adjust information like this. So While we're being denied access, we can still access other bits of information, like denial of access. We can view it, but we can't edit it because only executive authorization is allowed to edit this sort of information. Um, because we can't edit all of these, I've still allowed these users to access certain bits of important information. For instance, dealers should be able to recognize people that shouldn't be in the casino, so that's why they have access to this table over here. That covers the majority of the functionality of the system in terms of how everything works. We have other different functionalities over here, like the casino reports, but that essentially covers how to use the system. So I thank you for watching the video and hope that you're able to try the system out for yourself.